はい、お待たせしました。大丈夫かな？ちょっと待ってね。あ、動くね。大丈夫ですね。はい。ということで、挨拶しようか。たまには。ちゃんと。ね。どうも皆さん、空の心は晴れ模様、空です。ということで、今日は、ザ・スタンリー・パラボーっていうゲームをやってみたいと思います。まあね、なんだっけ。サムネイルに書いてあったりするんだけど、ツイッターでも書いてあるんだけど、まあ、このゲーム、ね、ナレーションが指示中してくると、ね、厄介指示中らしいんで、まあ、それにね、従ったり従わなかったりで結末が変わる、まあ、ちょっと短めな、ね、結末が、たくさん結末いろいろあるらしいんだけど、一回が短いね、ゲームらしいんで、早速やっていこうかなと思います。で、ね、ちょっと設定しようかなと思ったんだけど、開いたら、もうなんか、こっからなんか始まりそうだなと思ったんで、こっから止めてました。前にね、スタンリーパラボをやったことがありますかって言われたんで、いいえ。パソコンがギリギリ見えるぐらいまでスライダーを調整する。まあ、こんぐらいでいいでしょ。くしゃみでそう。現在の時刻2時5分。ところで、ゲームのスタンリーがスタンリーになってますよ。ありがとう。ひろきちくんいらっしゃい。ここね、LE か。なるほど。もうちょっとちっちゃくしなきゃ。こうか。OK。ありがとう。アクセシビリティ設定は弓にからアクセスできます。OK。日本語設定でやってます、今回。セッティングしますか。視野角80ぐらいでいっか。カメラ感度はそんな速くなくていいかな。で、オーディオね。オーディオ70ぐらい。 こんぐらいでやりますか。で、ビデオとかの設定も、一回でやって、まあ、いっか。これも推奨やりますか。ジャンプ、本当に、ウォートウォーク、勝手に歩く、インタラクト、2とかね。おっと、ナレーター音量0にです。OK。字幕はオン。カラーレベルとかは OK。よし、これでいきましょう。まだ、ほんとだ。ありがとう。スタンリー、スタンリー、タネリー、タネリーになってるよね。こうか。STANLY、OK。はい。よし。こっちの設定もできたということで、やっていきましょう。スタンリーパラボー。ね、ウルトラデラックスバージョンが最近出たってことで、8年前ぐらいにね、元のゲームがスタンリーパラボーあったらしいんだけど、なんか、それをね、より大きくした、内容を濃くしたやつがこれらしい。まあでも、なんか追加コンテンツ行く前に、その元のスタンリーパラボーで遊べる内容をクリアしようかな今日は思いますので、よろしくお願いします。スタートです。怖くないといいんだけど。これはスタンリーという名の男の物語って。だからね。読みますか見ますか。一人の部屋でキーボードを押すだけだって。終わりが、ありがとう。今の近いよ。This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. なんで待ってね。Stanley was happy. 押しちゃった。ごめん。カメラ感度半や。もう一回見れない？このゲームもう一度始める？ちょっと、もう一回見よう。ダメだ。終わった。だね、感度が早いな。まあ、いらないでしょう。まあ、スタンリーは一般人っていうことですよ。感度、いいね。427号室で閉じこもってキーボードを押していたと。やっぱもう一回見ていい？もう一回見よう。見たい。ちゃんと見たい。オッケーオッケー。ちょっと、ごめんね。始まったばっかだから。もう一回見たい。Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them. 裏バイトみたいなね。This is what employee 427 did every day of every month. 人差し指で押してるキーボード。小学生かな。Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. で、スタートと。なるほどね。スタンリーは 毎日モニターとかから業務のメール来てたのに来てないんだ。今日は。インタラクト。ああ。ちょっと怖いな。彼の同僚たちは全員いなくなってたんです。あ、早いな。読むか。あー、なるほどね。今日休みって言われてたけど、間違えて出社しちゃったかも、みたいなね。
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-worker. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference.
うわ、指示されてる。読まれてる。こう、うわ、これ触んないで出たいけど。何読まれてるか。眩しい。戻ってみるか。まあ、もうちょい先に、ちょっと、扉が開いたりしないかな。なんかこんな会社あるんですかね。本当に誰一人いないじゃん。扉を、I hate on Mondays. 私は月曜日が嫌い。誰かいたりしない？マジなんかこういうの怖いんですよね、僕。ホラーゲーム苦手なんで。お。彼は左側のドアに入りました。あ、ここからか。じゃあ、僕はね、ためにも書いたけど、言うこと聞きませんので、右側に行きます。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
何そういうなんか言い訳してくんだ。なんか書いてある。飽きそうじゃない？従業員ラウンジに行って褒めたたいたかったのでしょう。怖い。ちょっと怖いんだけど。450。ああ。何この部屋。すごいね。すごい、本当にどんどん言うこと聞いてあげない。左側のドアにだって入ってあげないんだから。指示に従うことがとても下手で何年もクビにならなかったから信じられません。何これすごい。いや、もう空は今日言うこと聞かないんでね。まあ途中で聞くけど。インタラクトがさ、キーボード押す音なんだよね。You can't jump. You can't jump. ジャンプしなかった。Warning. Don't jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. 動いているときにジャンプするなと。なんかめちゃくちゃ言ってる。
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
彼女のため？
This is it, Stanley.
自分自身を取り戻すチャンスなんだ。
To put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
彼女は待ってますよ。なんか怖い。普通に怖いんですけど。こういうの怖いんですけど。真っ暗じゃん。怖いんですけど。 や、マジで怖いんですけど、なんかなんもないですか、これ。あ、怖すぎ。あ、怖すぎ。怖い。怖い。うわ、電話だ。彼女ですよ。あなたが彼女に手を差し伸べる必要があるのです。本当に他の人に信頼を受けるのは電話に出て。怖い。出ないとどうなの？いや、僕は出ないけど。怖すぎる。怖いよ。出ない。絶対出ない。出てあげないんだから。スタンリーは電話を取ると白い光が来る。でも、電源を抜いた？空は？電源抜いちゃった。すいません、抜いちゃった。あれは選択できないはずだったの？どうやったの？ナレーションが。あ、すごい、ナレーション紙に見てる。勝手にエンドロール。正しくないことなのです。そもそもなんてあり得るの？すごい怒ってるナレーションが。ちょっと待ってよ、今のはノーって。そうです。スタンリーの物語じゃなかったんです。空の物語になって。私がな。めっちゃ怒ってる。
I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
教育ビデオ？
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person.
なんか説教入りましたよ、これ。
But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people.
すごい、バッタがハンバーガーになっとって。
He could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought.Then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness,
なんてことだ、4時半。ほら、列のだとやんなきゃいけないんだった。例のか。Practice。何これ、すごい。洗脳されてるみたい。
Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally,If you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
なんかちゃんと言うこと聞きなさいってこう。なんかめっちゃ。あなたのこの部屋の物語矛盾により。あ、おかしくなっちゃったんだ。電話には出れない。電話出れんじゃね？出れないんだ。ちょっとおかしくなっちゃったんだ。空が。変なのを選んだから。すご。何もできない。で、また、ここから空は言うことを聞かずに行くと、どんどん世界が、今、
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story.
Jump.
That story would make no
ジャン
sense.
プできないよね。
We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
ジャンプがないんですよ。ジャンプしないでね。ドンジャンプ。ジャンプってあったっけ？ジャンプが、スペースだよね。ジャンプできないんですよ。ジャンプができても良さそうなのにな。ダメみたいですね、ここはジャンプが。ジャンプできなくない？あれ？ジャンプできないな。やっぱジャンプ効かないんだよね。では、スタンレーはまだジャンプ、そうなんだ。じゃあまだ始まったばっかってこと？もしかしてこのゲーム。ジャンプすらできない。なんか変わってる？もう少し、あなたは左側のドアを選び、正しいエンディングと、やばい！言うこと聞かされてる気がする。まずいぞ。ちょっとそれだけは避けたいんですけど。いやー、違うんだよなー。なんかないの？正しい選択以外の選択肢はないんですか？開かない。
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the
閉ざされ
task.
ちゃった。
Just
最初のところま
follow
で。
me and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his
左側に。
No! Why did you do that? Quickly,
すごい、ドアじゃな
hurry
くな
back
っ
in the
た。
other direction. Perhaps we're not too
え、
late.
すごい。やば。どうなってんの？埋まってる。あら。もう一回やったら変わる？どんどん世界が崩壊してしまう。だってこれ左側行くしかないのかな？他にやれることないよね。だってこれ、終わっちゃうでしょ、左側行ったら。そう、左しか行けないのか。右行きたいんですけど。行けないんですか、これ。ないか、ダメか。そっか。じゃあちょっと左側行くか。しょうがないね。ナレーションに言うこと聞いてあげるか。やば、壊れてる。ダメなんだ。一回でも右側入ったら壊れちゃったの。何か特別なものを感じたのですか？もうちょっとゲームをね。もうやめましょうよ。
Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer?
ごめんね。ごめんね。壊してね。
No, I have to.
いや、しなくちゃ。ゲームを終了しなくちゃ。しなくちゃ。
I have to.
しなくては。うわ、怖っ。怖いって。怖い怖い怖い怖い。怖い怖い怖い怖い。マジ怖い。うお、怖い怖い怖い。
I'm still here in this pile of rubbish, with you, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed.
怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い。マジ怖い。普通に怖いんですけど。
You just had to see. Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good
怖
reason
い怖
for
い。
it.
どこにいんの？
That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
怖すぎ。
My story.
私のストーリーが。
If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have
右
seen
のドア
there
く
was
ぐ
a
っただ
whole
けなのに。
underground facility. You would have destroyed it
あな
and
たはそれを破
been
壊し勝利を得たで
victorious.
し
It
ょ。
would have been so
そうなん
perfect.
だ。
I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make
怖っ。
behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of
これまた右側行ったら
he entered
め
the
ちゃくちゃ
door
怒
on
られ
his
るじ
left.
ゃん。怖いなぁ。右側行こ
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
う。すごい。2回目。
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing
絶対に
responsibly and
絶対
always
に
putting the story first.
選
I'm
択させら
quite
れ
sure
る。
you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be
すごい
fine.
怖っ。
All right.
アンダーテー
When
ルに
Stanley came
感じ
to a
る。
set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
やだ。何も言わなくなった。やば、とうとう何も言われなくなった。怖っ。
No!
Oh.
Why did you do that?
言われた。
Quickly, hurry back.
何回もやらされる。
Behave exactly as Stanley
ずっ
would.
とやらされんのこ
That
れ。
means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
何回もやるとかあんのかな。
And you'll be fine. All right.
でも同じことずっ
When
とやら
Stanley
されてん
came
の
to
か
a
な。
set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
入ってみるか。屈したわけじゃないけど。ちゃんとしてる。
Yet there was not a single person here either.
え
Feeling a wave
怖
of
っ。
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. 勝手にしまった。ブルームクローゼット。いやね、上行けって。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
下
to
に
his
は行けない
boss's
のか。
office.
ここが空いてるから、この。うわー、ちょっと歯向かいたいな、もう少し。めっちゃいいところに住んでる。なんか選べる道ないかな。ないか。怖すぎ、さっきの。超怒ってたよ。
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with
Voice
a voice
receiver.
receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And
いろん
beyond
な
all
額縁があ
probability,
る。
he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's
パスコード
computer
知ってい
just
たんで
last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to
Night
open the
Shark
door? Would it still
115.
work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself
なんなん
the
だ
courage
こ
to
の。
face the unknown.
なるほ
He
ど。
drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
言わないってことないの。 なにこれ。
Stanley spoke the code.
Please
Light
speak
shark
closer into the
115.
record.
He spoke it into the receiver.
壁の右側にあ
Right
る
there on the wall. I'm sorry, is there a
話せ
problem?
ないですけど。
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't
これ
get on
僕
with
の
the
声入っ
story.
てんの
This is a crucial step.
ナイトスネーク115って言っても
Okay, fine.
違
You're not
う
gonna
じゃ
do
ん。
it, but you
何
It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect.
いや、喋んないでしょ、スタンリー、これ。
Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't
何
want to
こ
see
れ。
what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have
いや
gone
いや、
through
入
the
っ
door
た
on
じゃ
the
ないですか、
right.
右の
You
ドア
could
に。
have done whatever the hell you wanted over
めっ
there.
ちゃ怒
Why
る
did you come this way? Speak. Say something
話
to
せ、
me.
喋りしろ。
Explain yourself, you coward. You
お
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
何これ。
to the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
すご。
Please. I need you to make a choice.
The end.
I need you to walk through the door.
どういうこと
Can you hear me? Is everything...
何
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand?
むずっ。
Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both
何これ、どういうこと理解に苦しむな。
you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything.
ナレーターが
It's。more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So,
動かない場合こうなるってこと
are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait.
ゲームクリアおめでとうございます。ありがとうございます。意味がわかんないんだけど、これ。
Correct, that is the best choice.
右側
That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do.
右側だったでも右側、あれ以上ないよね。こんなマルチエンドあるでもこれ結構エンドが多いみたいな。
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
でもこういうのは、
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
パッパ行くのが、まず、もう一個。なんかある。インプットレシーブド。なんか画面がついて動かせるよ。ちょっと変わってるかもしれない。新たな世界が。なにこれ。1周目と2周目でちょっと変わってる感じ
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
うわ、
he
悩
entered
む。
the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it
いや、
perfectly.
右側は、そう。
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
一回右側もう一回入って、最初のムーブかますけど、
Wow. Yes. This
電話を取って
room.
みようか、次は。
What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room.
なんか、あれ
Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour
お
on his
な
way
んか
to
ちょっ
the
と違うよ
meeting room.
ね。
Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to
あれ、
consider.
こんなんだったっけナレーション。ちょっと変わった
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the
あ、
first
ここ
open
左
door
入
on
って
his
ない
left.
わ。会議室繋がってんだ、これ。うわー、電話取ってみるか。
Stanley was so bad at following directions.
で、
it's
白い
incredible
光
he
に。
wasn't fired years ago.
待って、ここ。降りれるじゃん。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot
降
here.
りれるじゃん。
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in
降りて
someone
向こう
else
行く
can
か。
be difficult, but the fact
うわ
is that
マル
the
チエンドあ
story
る
has
な。
been about
めっちゃある
nothing
ね。
but
ちょっと待って、
you
一回
all this time.
電話取ろう
There's
次。
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten
ね、
about.
電話取ったら白い光に包まれ
Stop
て
trying to
彼
make
女
every
を選ぶエ
decision
ンド
by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm
があるんだよね。
asking- This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
いざハッピーエンドへ。
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the
お、白い光に包まれて。怖いんだけ
Is
ど。
that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
普通に本当にハッピーなんです
Okay,
か？
there we go. All right, now I want you to come in and tell me all about
Your day.
うわ、怖すぎ、やっぱり。いや、絶対そうだと思った。
Gotcha.
うわ
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
なんだ
I'm
と。
trying to make a point here,
あえ
Stanley.
て主張しよう。
I'm trying to get you to see something.
何？
Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death
え、
of a man
そうな
named
の？
Stanley.
おはようございます。プレス、お
Stanley is quite a boring fellow.
うん。
He has a job
なん
that
で
demands
死んじゃ
nothing
って
of
んの？
him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
はいはい。あ、
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told
まさにや
to
る
do.
ボタンを押してる。
Now he's
今後
pushing
ボタンを押しています。今、ランチを食べていま
He's
す。
eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to
うんう
work.
ん。
One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
他のボタンを押しても意味ないんだよね。これを B を押してみるか。
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his
彼の
desk,
主かスタンレーは未知の世界のワイルドな体
expeditions
験
into the unknown,
ほう。
fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was
ス
wonderful.
タンレーは死んじゃっ
And
てるっ
each
てこ
day
と？
that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
テレビを見るために J。
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped
No,
up
so
from
wait,
his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building
Ah,
had
so
suddenly
what though?
vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
少年たちを過ごすために Z を押してください。意味がわからない。
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered
hi.
what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
またあるな。
As he wandered
そんな
through
変わっ
this
た。
fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind
Right,
controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many
Yellow line.
directions. And down another was a game with a
赤ちゃん
baby.
と遊ぶゲーム
And。he called it the Stanley Parable.
はあ。
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this
難しい
free.
話だな。
Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
9。
But there is no answer. How
Oh,
could there possibly be?
どんどん戻ってっ
In
てる
reality,
も
all
しか
he's
して。
doing is pushing the same buttons he
最初の
always
空間に。
has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets.
なんか鬱になり
the
そう。
real
怖い
life.
怖い。You。
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
なになに怖っ。 AZ 押してやろ
You see? He does not hear me.
う。あ、戻っ
How can
た
I。tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see?
やっぱ
How
戻っ
can I
た。
make him look at himself?
何も質問しない。L。
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all
伝え
this
な
to
くち
him.
ゃ。
I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
え、
And I tried
死んで
again,
ください。
and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
何怖い怖い。死んでくださいって。何これ BGM ないと怖くない？お、
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
電源
No
消して
matter
た。
how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
なんか
co-workers.
すごい。どんどん変わってる。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
お、インプットレシーブドが2個溜まりました。なんかいろいろ行く道あんじゃん。怖っ。普通に怖いんですけど。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
あ、
he entered
死
the
んで
door
くだ
and
さいをちょっとさ、鵜呑みにしてみるか。じゃあ次は。
This was
死ん
not
で
the
みよう
correct
か。
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
ここで死ねるんだよね。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he
多分。
wasn't fired years ago.
ほら。
But in his eagerness to
すごい。
prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley
誰
left
か
from the
飛び降り死んでしまっ
platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
あ、終わり？あ、終わっちゃった。死んだやつが、死ぬのが一番、
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started.
変わったよ。
And if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
ちょっと変わったセリフが。怖い怖い。あ、なくなったインプット。怖っ。普通に怖いんだが。はいはい。
When Stanley came to a set of two open
い
doors,
つか右側のドアとか言われるのかな。右側攻略したい
This
ね。
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
なんもない。変わりがない。
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time
真の幸
understood
福を
true
理解したので
happiness.
す。
Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of,
何これ。
tingle.
そう
But eager to get
そうね。
back
でも
to
早く仕
business,
事に戻りたく
Stanley
て。
took the first open door on his left.
いやでね、次にね、あそこに乗りたいんだよね。なるほど。いや、乗れるかな。でも違うかな。こっち行ってみる
And
か。
so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
あ、下行けちゃった。あ、下行けた。ローディング。
But Stanley didn't want to go
オフ
back
ィ
to
ス
the
に戻
office.
りたくな
He
かっ
wanted
た。
to wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's
左
left.
いや。開かないんだ。
Oh, no.
でも
No,
右。
it's to the right. My mistake.
なんだよ。なんだよ。普通にちょっとびっくりするんだけど。
No, no, no.
ね、なになに
not
な
the
に
right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly...
?OK?
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
また紙見てる。
Now, let's see. We went down right.
右、左、
left,
下、左、
down,
右と進みました。
right. Yep. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
え、車怖っ。すごっ。
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet.
ネタバレ
This
し
is
ちゃう
all
よ。
a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to Oh, who am I kidding?
なんてね。
It's all rubbish now. The whole story.
全編
completely
完全に使わなりません
How
よ。
about rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
あ、すご
And
っ。
this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay. From the top.
Employee Fires って書いてある。お、戻ってきた。
All of his co-workers were
あ
gone.
ら、
What could it mean?
戻った
Stanley
よ。
decided to go to
最
the
初の
meeting
に。
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
あ、でも消せるね。ジャンプできるようにならないね。インプット3が見当たらない。ちょっと言うこと聞いてみますか。
When Stanley...
あら、
Wait, what? No,
私再起動した。私違って100% 絶対このゲームリスタートして。今日めっちゃ増えた。
Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then.
じゃあ冒険だ。
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
すごい。すごいすごい。いや、やばい、いっぱいある。いや、なんか FPS のやつでこう覗いてさ、敵出てきちゃうかなとか思っちゃうんだよね。
I'll say it. This is
そ
the
う、これは
worst
今までで一番
adventure
最
I've
悪
ever
な
been
冒
on.
険
I。can promise you there definitely
あ、
was a story
一生迷
here
う的
before.
な
Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over
帰ってき
and
た。
over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
おい、どうした何ずっと、
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
はいはい。また行って、これ扉とかもさ、全部開くようになるんじゃない？扉がない。
Okay, yep, it's worse.
もっとひどいぞ
I
っ
might
て。
be remembering this wrong. It's
扉ない。
possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
あ、コーヒーこぼれてない？
Aha! I knew we'd miss
お、なん
something.
か、
The story.
ストーリー来た
Here
来
it
た。
comes.
え
No, wait, never mind.
え、何
Not
こ
the
れ
story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
え、出口なくなってるとか。何
Now
ここ
this, well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize
何
this
こ
place at
こ
all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall,
これ
but I
ナレー
believe
ショ
my
ン。
story took place in an office building.
そうだ
Is
よ
that
ね。
correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely
こ
forgotten
ういうの
what
は
we
どう
were
でしょうか。
supposed to be doing, how about this? You
お
win!
やめて、
Congratulations!
奥がすごい
I
動く。
know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid
怖っ。
off. So, good job. Oh no, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work
そうなの
for
勝
that
ち
job. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out
何
by
何があ
whatever
ろう
this
と私
place
は聞い
is.
ています。
I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
リスタート。なんか白い線が引いてある。
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure
line.
Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
変わってるじゃん。で、こっち行くと、うわー、やばい。エンドが多すぎる、このゲーム。
No, no, I'm
Yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah.
living it up to the line from now on.
ラインに従っていく？なんかない？
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the
こっ
very
ち空いてる。
manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now we can both agree that the
いや、
nature
言う
of
こと聞いてみ
existence
る？
is in fact
いや、でもこれ上行ったら
a
一緒な気がする
byproduct
な。
of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay.
あ、オッケー。
Now,
あ
if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in
この
fact
オフィスは
the
実
skeleton
際
of my
私自身
own
の
relative
なんか難しい。
exponential mental subjective construct? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on.
ちょっと待って。
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not
ど
sure
こを目
where
指
I
してる
was
か見
going
失い
with
ます。
all that. You know what? I think what we need right now
お
is a
ー
bit of music
そうです
to
ね。
make
気
the
分の
mood.
上がる。冒険に行こうみたいな。あ、戻ってきた。何これ？行けばいいの？いや、この音楽なんだよ。なんかラインが横に沿ってる。はてな、クエスチョン。なんかもらえる？クエスチョン。すごい、全部ハテナで書いてある。怖いね。いやいや、線よ。すごい線が。何これ。ぐちゃぐちゃぐちゃぐちゃ。ジグザグ。なんか、ペイデーじゃない、ペイデー。なにこれ。マンスリーレジェンド。 コーポレートインバランス。何これ。ファイナンシャルレコード。書類置き場ってこと？何これ。どこまで行くの？
Cut the music. Go back and look at that.
戻ってシダを見よ
Stanley, this fern will be
う。このシダ
very
は
important
後々ストーリーで重要になる。
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
OK。
Wait, what? We're back at the office?
No,
Line, you do know we're looking for the
じゃあ
Stanley
スタンリーパラボ
Parable,
を
right?
探してるんだろ
Story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
何シダを覚えといて。何待って、こっちの扉も開いてる。お、
Oh, no.
またついた。
Again, Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you.
Employee
Everything
fired
we've
って
been
書いてある。
through,
Employee
you-
could be.
Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
またすごっ。何も言ってくれないじゃん。
You know what, Stanley?
ね
I say
え、奴が
forget
私たちに何をしてくれ
What's it
た？
ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
何
Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
どの方向性？この方向性？怖い。
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley. I'm ready
怖
for
すぎる、マジで。心臓に悪い。マジで無理。やば、怖っ。
Oh no, not you
あ、
again.
LINE だ。
Stanley, I'd also like
The
to veto
line
the line from
PM.
having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
LINE もまた違うんだ。ナレーションと。こっちおいでって。でもナレーションは、いけないじゃん。上に超えてってる。お？
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our
これ
control.
はストーリーは。
How
ストーリーじゃなくて
important
ストー
we
リーは
mustn't
だよ。
squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door
何
has to
これ？
lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means
原
that
点
our
と逆の
destination
反対の裏と一
corresponds
致するっ
a
てこと？
counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going?
右のドア。
Since the answer is clearly yes,
どう考えても右のドアが
the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
開けれない。混乱エンド。
Oh, hold up, what's this?
何これ？
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is?
ジャイアントエンドと全く同じってこと？
And we're supposed to restart the game what, eight
何
times?
？8回も ?8 回も？
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing wall.
何
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to
あ、右も
decide?
左も一緒だったん
Why
だ。
don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be.
すご。
I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't
ゲームをリステ
restart
さ、
the
あ、
game. I won't
なるほ
do
ど。
it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
あ、これか。
And the timer at the
ナレーターが前のリスタートを忘れ
Does
る。
that mean did
スタンリーが、
we break
そ
the
したら
cycle?
どこにも行けないもしくは
The,
何もできない。
whatever
ゲーム
it
が
is
自分
that
でリ
made
スタ
this
ート。
schedule? How would we
6
even
回目のリ
know?
スタート。もう一度ラインを見つけ
Will
る。
someone come for us?
す
Something
ごい。
happen?
それっては計画されていた。そういうこと
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that
で、
this
つい
is a
にスタン
kind
リ
of
ーが死ぬ
story, wouldn't you
最後はス
agree?
タンリーが死ぬん
Quite
だ。
sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey
え、
and not the
何
destination.
深
So I hope
深
that's
すぎる
where
ね
we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you
おリスタート入った。
all of his co-workers were
あ、で、今記憶なくなってる
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he
な
had
んか変わっ
simply
てない
missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
何も変わってないでもさ、シダが重要なのですとか言ってたよね。お、
When Stanley came to a set of two open
え、
doors,
でも終わっ
he
てないよ
entered
ね
the。door on his left.
それが入るか。言うこと聞いてみるか、たまには。
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer
あ
there.
でもこれ普通だよね。エンディングいけなくない？お、
Coming to a staircase,
下に行けるようになってる。
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he
12
taken that
BA
risk? All
B4
because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
クレイ
All of
ジ
my
ー
coworkers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
あ、
And
戻っ
as
てきた。
Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange
戻ってき
observations.
た。
For example, why couldn't he
本当
see
だ。
his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
そうだね。
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
夢持ち
This is all a dream. Oh,
夢持ち終わ
he
り
felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his
何
job.
この時計
He
も
wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I
もうすぐ
suppose
目
I'll
が
wake
覚め
up
るんだ
soon.
ろう。
I'll
わ
have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently
地
float
上に
above the
あ
ground.
本当だ浮かんでる
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star.
あ宇宙に行くの
Then it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm
何これ
doing and thinking?
え
Now
怖
the
い
voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it
なん
particularly
か
strange.
感覚が短くなって
I'm
ない
dreaming about a voice, Describing me,
いや、そんな
thinking
ことな
about
いか。
how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
いや、短くなってる。
He thought it all very odd.
時計の部屋なくなってる。
If this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
お、
How
来
could
た
it。be? Was
何？
Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
え？
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a
スタン
shock
リー
to
は
Stanley.
夢落ち
He
を
knew for certain, beyond a doubt,
願っ
that
て
this
るってこ
was
と
in
ね。
fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, surely, if he could
や
just...
ばいやばい。
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited
あ、目が
himself
閉
to
じ
wake
る。
up.
あ
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
ー、怖っ。
Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
夢の中でもま
I'm
た寝
through with
て、
this dream. I wish it to be over.
で夢の中でもまた起きている感触を
Let me continue
感じちゃって
pushing
る
the
んだ。
buttons.
これは。
Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my
妻なん
job.
ていないよ、みたいな言わ
All
れた
I
よね。
want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
怖っ。いやー、夢から覚めない。うわーってなんじゃない？
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone
いや
wake
ー、
me
や
up.
ば
My
い。
name is
夢から起きれ
Stanley.
ないっ
I
て。
have a boss. I have an office. I am real.
あ、すごい。
Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be
怖い
real.
怖い。
I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I?
怖すぎる。
And everything went
あ、真っ
black.
暗になる。怖いんだけど、怖いっ
This
て。
is the story of a woman named Mariella.
マリエラになったって。
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings,
Oh.
and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk
Oh.
was interrupted by the body of a man
スタンリ
who
ー？
stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy.
ただどう見ても狂ってるということが彼女に分かりました。
Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be
Yeah.
normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her
マ
feel
リエラちょっ
better.
とドライだな。
Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people
今後
whose
キャリアに影
impressions
響を
of
与
her
え
would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
選択
She
して
had
ん
no
の？
time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned around.
やば。やば。怖いルートばかり選択してるような気もしない。本当に？マジで怖いんだけど。なんでこんなんばっかりなの？怖いんだけど。また次こっから。
When Stanley came to a set of two open
待
doors,
ってよ
he
ー。
entered
なん
the
かどんど
door
ん
and declared,
違くなってるよ。一回さ、終わらせてみる。一回通常エンド行ってみます
Yet
か。
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of
なんか
disbelief,
増えてない
Stanley
これ。
decided to go up to his boss's
なん
office,
か変わっ
hoping
て
he
るくない？
might find an answer there.
悪視。
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
なんかここいたらなんかありそう。また。
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet
また
FA.
怖いルート来たら嫌だな。OK とか言われそう。
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why?
何
Please
こ
offer me
れ。
some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no
いや、
choice
だ
or
から
anything
こ
in
こいたら
here.
絶対なんかあ
If I'd
る。
said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely
そうだね。
no
たまたま
significance
開
to
い
the
たからね。
story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends,
あ
you'll
なた
say,
はこのこと言ってた。
"Oh, did you get the broom
物
closet
置
ending?
エンドが
The
一番
broom
好きだっ
closet
た。
ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
じゃあ見えない。
Stanley was fat and ugly and
そういう
really
ことで
racist.
さらに見えると思う。
He probably only got the job because of a
め
family
ちゃくちゃ悪口言
connection.
ってき
That's
た。
how stupid he is.
何こ
That
れ。
or with drug money.
麻薬
Also,
につない
Stanley's
とか。
addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now.
あなたは死んだんだよ。
Dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some
身
sort
体的
shot
弊害があなたの
through
中
your
枢
nervous
神経を
system
停止
and
し
you、collapsed
あなたの
like
キ
you
ーボードのように崩れ落ちちゃう
And
の。
in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of
何
before it
何
begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer
ボサコンにいる人
is
死んでますよ。
They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic
なのに彼らに一日商戦の基本的仕組みを感じに理解させ。 え、何これ物置エンドあんの本当に。
And insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
長っ。マジこんなに物置にいさせられんの？
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. You too?
あなたも死ん
Unbelievable.
なるほどね。
Mercy of an entire species.
私は病院という種の言いなりになっている。
Monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish?
魚、菌類？
Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting
何
for you
何
to pick up the story again.
長いって。何またこれも変なルート選んでます僕。なんか光ってない？もう終わりか、さすがに。もうないか。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley
あ、
walked
終わり？
upstairs to his boss's office.
エクスキューティングバスルーム。うわ、トイレがある。マネーインザムービング。マネーインザエブニング。モーニング。マネーインザエブニング。マネーフォーザブレイクファースト。マネークリスプ。ちょっと変わってるね。 インプットレシーブド。こっちも開くんかーい。あれなんか、場所違くない？
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled,
いえ、
Stanley
なんか
wondered in
声じゃなくなってる。
disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was
どの
being
ダー
held
クな
from
秘密が
him?
隠されているんだろ
What
う。
he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it
両者特別に秘密の番号を割り当てていました。
2845.
2845
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
なるほど。あ、間違えた。あ、間違えた。
Stanley just sat around twiddling his
う
thumbs.
わ
Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know
うわ、
that
な
the
んか、
combination was 2845.
2845押して。
2845.
あー、これ、どっちがいいんだ。いや、でも聞いてみるか。
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
おう。
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
怖っ。怖っ。怖い怖い。怖い怖い。ホラーエンドしかなくないですか？落ちちゃうでしょ、こんな。はい。あ、落ちないんだ。あ、エレベーターなんで怖い、暗いところとか怖いんですけど。
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a
胸
stirring
の
of
中で
emotion
感
in
情を
his
揺さぶ
chest,
りました。
as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he
すごい
feel
ね、
this
こんなにあるんだ。
when for years it had never occurred to him?
うわ、
This question would not go
広い。
unanswered for long. Stanley walked
Mind
straight ahead through the
control
large door that
施設。
read Mind Control
エス
Facility.
ケープ。出口。行くか。
The lights rose on an
モニ
enormous
あ、
room
さっきの
packed
とこ
with
ろだ。
television screens. What horrible secret did this place
Oh.
hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength
さっきの
to
ところ
find
だ。
out?
さっき上に出たんだよ、僕。
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature
Oh.
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in
さっきのこれが
Stanley's
何かわかんの
coworkers.
か。
The lives of so many individuals reduced to
あ、人
images
生
on
が
a
まとめ
screen.
られて、
And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place.
あ、監視されてるんだ。
Nothing.
みんなも同じことやってるってこと？他の従業員たちも。ポチッとな。
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
Oh.
That his emotions had been manipulated to
Oh,
accept him
oh, oh.
blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control.
すごいね。
Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life
うわあ、なんかすごい
utterly blind to the
なんかアトラクションみたい。
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
はいはいはい。
Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
なんか下に行けそうじゃない？何もないのか。怖いなぁ、怖いなぁ。お、5がある。ボタン5。何これ。1とか2とかあんの？今あの上から来たんだっけ？いや、違うな。1、2、2。絶対押したらなんかあるやつ。どうやって行くのあそこ。いけない？ 1、2はあった。なん4は4。4あそこだよね。うわ、4どうやって行くんだ？扉が閉まってる。扉が閉まってる。お？いや、4押せないんだけど。ダメか。ちょっと先進んだら上がるかな。Mind Control Idle Awaiting Input System Power.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power,
はいはいはい。
he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to
終わらせるの
this
が
horrible place
責任
and
で
to
あると知りま
everything
し
it stood for.
た。オン。
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
え、
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine
今度あなたが
for
自分のため
yourself.
に
Is that what you wanted?
ローディ
Control?
ングマインドコントロールシステム。
Stanley,
あ、
I applaud your effort,
え
I really、do.
またダメ？
But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can
僕押せ
do.
ない？
You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off.
またそら怖いんだよ。なん
If
だ？
you throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just
爆破システムな
initiated the
の？
network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper
はいはいはい。
DNA identification, nuclear detonators
爆
are
爆
set to
弾が
explode, eliminating
やばすぎる。
How long until detonation then?
今では
Say,
今
2
に
minutes. Now this is making
やばいや
things a
ばい。
little more
本
fun,
当
isn't
だ。
it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You
急
are
げ
the
急げ。
star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind.
いや、これ
What
は
a shame we have so little time left to enjoy
ボタンが関係してく
it.
る。
Moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you.
あ、
About
開いてる開いてる。
where we're going. What all this means.
いや、これは
know where to
僕が
start.
今まで培ってきたものが
You'd like to know where your co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway.
あ、
I'll
みんな
tell
どこ
you
いんの？
exactly what happened to
う
them.
ん。
I erased them.
私が彼らを消
I
したの
turned
で
off
す。
the
機械の
machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
ええ
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
1、2、3、4、5押したけど。
Though, this version of events has been
ダメ？
rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested
あ、
away from you.
銃とか。
Quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even
いや
better.
ー、厳しいな、こ
My
れ。
goodness, only 34 seconds left.
時間がどんどんなくなっていく。
You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put
ダメだ。
some time on the clock. Why not? These are precious
Interact.
additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
1。
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you.
ダメだ。え、時間伸びてる。
Screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red
この
button.
大きい赤いボタ
Or
ン
this。door.
それも、
Everything, anything, something here will save
あ、
me.
この色の、
Why would you think that, Stanley? That this
Hmm?
video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
いや、違うね。
Stanley,
ね、
you're
に
in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you.
紫の
That
に
timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along.
探せ
It's
っていうの
just
か。
seconds ticking away to your death.
なくない
You're
か。
only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy.
You have
Wanted to control this
unwanted
world, that's fine.
でもにわかん
I'm
ない。
going to destroy it first. so you
Goodbye, employee.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley.
わあ、時が。
That's 30 seconds you have
Mo-
left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
Goodbye, employee 4人な。お、
Just you
すごい。
being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me.
なになに、やば。
And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life.
やば、爆発する。やばいやばい。あと3秒、2秒。やばい、揺れがすごい。ボン。終わった。核爆発起きた。終わった。今のなんかあんのかな。じゃあちょっと次ラストにしようか。
Stanley wondered to himself.
これラストで。うわ、また変わった。
Centuries? Did something crucial
また話が変わりました
happen while the centuries were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
時間に気をつけてないわ。なるほどね。あれ、オフ押してたら違ったのかな。いやー、あれ、ニューコンテントって書いてあったね。これあれだね。新しく出た方だよね。ちょっとまだ、
When Stanley came
動
to a
作足りないね。
two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
じゃあラストは、右側の、
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
右側
Perhaps he
の、
wanted to stop by the employee lounge
あ、なんか
first, just to
途中で
admire.
降りれる場所があったんで、そこ降りて終わりにしよ
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies
う。い
in
や、
his
これ壊れ
stomach,
てないか。
giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection
この部屋
between
の
the
せい
two?。
お、また部屋の説明文が変わっている。
I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly, love. But eager to get
まだあ
back
っ
to
たんだ。
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
ここの、
Stanley was so bad at following
こ
directions.
この、
it's
そう、こ
incredible
こで
he
途
got
中で
so
飛び
far
乗
in
り、
years
飛び降り
ago.
たいんだよね。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but
うわ、
you
思ったより高いか
all
も。
this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
ほい、
What? Really?
いけた。
I was in the middle of something. Do you have
手が離せない
fear
の
or
で、あなたって
consideration for
他人へ
others?
の思いやりとかないの？
Are you convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your
す
side.
ごい。
Give me a chance.
あ、でも見たことある。2B。2B ってとこになったね。うわ、
Now listen carefully.
見
This is
て。
important.
また2つ。
Stanley walked through the red door.
うわ、なんかでも、ここで言うこと聞いた方が良さそう。言うこと聞かなか
Oh,
ったら、
thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this
みんな
time?
最初のエンドに
The
来そう。
problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
お。お。なるほど。これ無視し続けたらどうなの？まあ、一回行くか。
What do we want? What are we looking for?
なになに？え、なにこれ？
Oh,
なに
it's
これ？
beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I
なにな
actually
にこれ？
feel
なにこれ？
happy.
すごい。けど、
No, wait. Where are you going?
なにこれ？
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
扉がある。なに飛び降りんの？はい。
No!
生きてる。
Oh, thank
生き
God.
てる。あ
You
れ？
lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? No. No, no. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
もう一回落ちてみる。はい。
Stanley, let's go back to the other room.
あ、でもちょっとずつ足が弱くなってる。
My God. Is this really
まだどれだけ私のだけじゃなきゃいけないの？
game? But you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over
あ、
to be rid
死
of
ねるのがこれ何
You're
回でも。
literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
そうだよ。言うことに。いた。
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know.
まだ
anymore.
生きてるの？
I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
これがあなたの。まだ生きてる？お、
Is
死
it
んだ。
over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
はい。というわけで、
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
ま
it
だ、
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
あ、戻った
No
ね。
matter how hard
普
Stanley
通にね。
looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
と
co-workers.
いうことで、ザ・スタンリー・パラボー、今日はここら辺で終わりにしたいと思います。ね、いくらやってもキリがないんでね、これ、エンドが多分、めちゃくちゃあって。で、一回、ここでやめて、また、暇な時間とかに、まだまだこのオフィスには不思議と可能性が溢れてます。いや、なんか、今んとこ一個も同じエンドはないよね。いや、本当に、割と適当にやってたけど、全部エンドが違うね、今のところね。いや、てか普通にちょっと、空的には怖いんだけど、このゲーム。普通にちょっとびっくりする。怖い。不思議が怖いわ。まあね、今後ゲームやって、ちょっと休憩する時間とか、 そういう時にやっていこうと思います。ね、最近ね、こう、発売されて人気のゲームなので、ぜひ皆さんも、ね、空がまだクリアしてないエンドとかもぜひ見に行ってほしいと思いますので、どうぞ遊んでください。じゃあ今日はここら辺で終わりにしようかな。ということで、今日も配信見てくれてありがとう。次の配信でお会いしましょう。皆さん。またね。お疲れ様でした。ありがとう。お疲れ。また見に来てね。じゃあみんな、またね。バイバーイ。